Do you ever question why you have such low self-confidence? Like, why is it that you even have low self-confidence in the first place? What have you done so wrong, or what has gone so wrong in your life to make you doubt and hate yourself so much? Why is it that you've tried doing the little body language switch you heard from some YouTube influencer to do that would make you more confident, or you've tried dressing better, or you've even been lifting weights, but you still have low self-confidence? I used to ask myself these exact questions constantly. I'd be at a party, I'd be stood in the corner, and I'd be feeling like absolute shit, but I didn't feel like there was any reason why I should feel like shit. Like, I didn't know why that was even happening. I didn't think I was doing anything that wrong to make myself feel so badly, and yet I did feel so badly. But then I started self-improvement. I started lifting weights. I started doing good habits to better my mind. I started working on things that I cared about. And suddenly I started feeling not so badly about myself. But it's not for the reasons that you think that it is. If you've jumped to the conclusion that the self-improvement habits or the weights in and of themselves were what gave me self-confidence, then you're both right and wrong simultaneously. Developing self-confidence is much trickier than just doing all of the physical actions that the influencers online talk about. Because for the longest time I would hear, lifting weights will make you more confident in yourself. But then I would lift the weights and I would feel no different. I would still feel just as unconfident in myself as before doing the weights. And throughout my whole life, I've been lifting for 6 years. Ever since I was 12 years old. I'm 18 now. Ever since I was 12, I have been lifting at least 3 days a week. I'm up to doing 6 days a week now, but at least 3 days every single week. And throughout all of that time, lifting weights did nothing for my self-confidence until I reached this one fascinating mental breakthrough about developing self-confidence. See, it was never that the direct action of going to the gym and lifting the weights somehow had some magical effect on me that turned me into some super confident, charismatic alpha. It isn't that when I did Bulgarian split squats, or I benched or did curls, that some magical new aura was granted to me. What weightlifting did for me was a much more long-term benefit. It took me and it put my mind and my body through fire. It put my mind and soul under crushing pressure and shaped and molded me. And this was often a terrifying and painful process. I did not want to go to the gym and undergo this pressure, this fire, but I went anyways. Because I knew that that's what I needed to do if I ever wanted to change. And that, my fine-faced friend, is where weightlifting gave me self-confidence. It wasn't in going once or twice and getting blessed with some magical new aura, but in disciplining my mind and my body for months to go every single day without fail. What happened after these months and weeks of training is that I looked over the past days and saw something. I looked, and by looking, I found a new confidence in myself. I found this new confidence in seeing a list of innumerable victories I gained in fighting the battles against myself that nobody else saw. Whether it was on a leg day when I was sick with nerves before the workout and my palms get all sweaty, but I go and push myself past my limits in that workout anyways. Or it was me feeling angry and anxious that I needed to do my morning or my nightly routine, but I sat down and I prayed and I journaled anyways, and I disciplined my mind to do those things. Or it was me in the sauna feeling absolutely deflated and exhausted from the heat, but pushing myself to stay 5 more minutes. Regardless of what it was, I was able to see evidence of my own fortitude and discipline in all of these events, and as a result, gained a new level of self-confidence from them. Remember me saying that the weights did nothing for me until a certain mental breakthrough? Well, this is that mental breakthrough. It's that the weights were something hard that I did not want to do, that I did anyways. And because I upheld that discipline in my life, I gained self-confidence as the prerequisite result. So a massive part of developing self-confidence is understanding the relationship that you have with yourself. I think a large majority of people realize that they have this relationship with themselves, especially now with self-improvement. Like people like yourself watching this video have probably realized this relationship that you have with yourself. But the thing is that I think many people, including yourself, probably fail to realize how exactly you have this relationship with yourself. See, you have a relationship with both past and future you. The goal of self-improvement is that current you, the version of you that you are right now, sacrifices his desires and his wants so that future you, the you that you will be in a week, a month, 3 months, 6 months, etc., can live a happier and healthier life. Eventually, you will phase into future you and current you will become past you, right? The question that future you will be asking, the question that he always asks is, am I proud of or ashamed of past me? And this, my handsome boy, is where self-confidence comes to play in the relationship with yourself. The bottom line is that if you aren't confident right now, then the problem isn't that you deserve to be confident or that confidence is some normal inherent human thing that you're missing that you deserve to have. Although there is an important nuance to this that I'll be discussing in a moment. If you aren't confident in yourself right now, the reason is simply because when you look at past you, you have more reason to be disappointed in him than to be confident in him. And the simple bottom line to fixing this is that you have to give future you more reason to be proud of current you than to be ashamed of current you. This entails that you have to stop breaking the promises that you make to yourself. If you say you're going to get up on time, get the fuck up on time. If you say you're going to be consistent in the gym this week, be fucking consistent in the gym this week. If you say you're gonna eat well this week, eat well this week. If you say that you're going to read for 15 minutes from today onward, fucking do the reading. Bottom line, once again, is that you have to make future you proud of current you. The prerequisite result that you don't have to stress and strain yourself to get is that you will be self-confident. That's just the automatic result that will come from making future you proud of current you. And yes, I realize this is the unsexy answer to the question that you had entering this video, which is, how do I develop self-confidence? But this is also the actual way that you develop it. I mean, look, I can sit here and make the feel-good videos with the crispy edits that make you feel productive to watch, that tell you some bullshit, do this body language hack to gain plus 50 aura, or whatever the fuck. I can sit here and make those shit videos that you've watched 100 of and that don't work. You've tried to do what they tell you to do and they do not work. Or I can sit here and tell you the thing that is technically harder to hear, yes, and that is technically harder to do, yes, but that with application will actually change you. That will actually give you the change that you're looking for. I mean, if you want to be something exceptional, and if you want something exceptional, then you can't be surprised when you're required to do exceptional things. Now, that covers almost everything when it comes to developing self-confidence. Now, I say almost because we have not discussed that important nuance that I spoke about before. If you're anything like me, then you may have or you may be experiencing an interesting problem when it comes to developing self-confidence and having low self-confidence. And that problem is that you seemingly have no reason to lack self-confidence, and yet you still lack it. It kind of makes you feel like there's something fundamentally wrong with you as a person. You become really, or at least I experienced this, I became really neurotic and very down on myself because I thought that there was something fundamentally wrong with me, because it was like, I don't feel a reason to be lacking self-confidence, and yet I do lack it, right? Like me, you might be working out hard, eating well, doing good habits, and doing productive things throughout your day, and yet you still feel unconfident in yourself. Why is it that I do these things and gain great self-confidence from them, but you do them and nothing changes? What's the difference between us that makes us have different outcomes? The answer to these profound mysteries, my dear boy, is that your self-image is not aligned with reality. And in order to reap the benefits that would normally come from doing the things that are good for you, you have to align your mental self-image with the reality of the world and the universe. So, for example, let's say that you're super skinny and you feel really, really insecure about being skinny. But let's say you start going to the gym and you have this crazy transformation from 100 pounds to 180 pounds. But let's say, even though you're obviously built like a Greek god and your friends constantly compliment you about this, you still feel badly about yourself and you still have low self-confidence and you still feel insecure, right? You look in the mirror and are never satisfied with what you see. Why is it that even though you're an absolutely sculpted Chad, you still feel so insecure and unconfident? The reason is because you have created a massive external change, but you have failed to create massive internal change along with that. You've changed the way that you see yourself on the outside. You've changed your external appearance, but you failed to change the way that you mentally see yourself. You look in the mirror and still see that same 100-pound skinny kid, even though you clearly aren't that anymore. What needs to happen is that you need to enable yourself to receive the confidence that is supposed to come from building an awesome physique. And the way that you do this is actually super simple. I had to do this for myself when it came to lifting weights, and it gained me access to all of the inner stores of self-confidence that I didn't realize I had gained from all my years of lifting. What you do is you simply, and this works for anything, not just the gym. You can do this after speaking to girls, after meeting new people, after doing some kind of deep work or deep study. It doesn't matter. This can work for anything. But what you do is you simply consciously make the effort to, with the workout example, flex the muscle that you just worked and say it to yourself, damn, I'm actually huge. And I totally get if this sounds goofy. It felt extremely goofy to me when I first started doing it, and it will make you uncomfortable doing it at first. But the level of change that it will make in the way that you see yourself is worth the little bit of cringe that you're gonna feel while doing the exercise. Something else I would do is, after my workouts, I'd be in my car and I'd look myself in the eyes in the car mirror, and I would tell myself, good fucking work, Noah. You were afraid to do that workout, but you went hard at it anyways. Well done. I'm proud of you. And yes, this felt as cringe as it sounds, but the level of self-confidence and self-love this gained for me was worth it. Look, at the end of the day, you can sit there and tell yourself like, oh, there's no way I'm doing that. That's super cringe. Or you can be like, yeah, that's kind of cringe, but then just go and do it and feel a little bit cringe at the time, but then reap the benefits later. Or you can sit there and cope out and not do this and not know if it ever would have worked for you. Like, this could be the thing that unlocks the confidence for you to be able to like go speak to the girl that's supposed to be your wife. Like, for real. So you can sit there and keep coping and telling yourself that like, that's too cringe. Or you can be like, okay, yeah, it feels cringe, but then go do it anyways and then reap the massive benefits from it. And again, like I said before, this can work for anything. It doesn't just work for the gym. You can do it, like I said, after talking to girls, talking to new people, doing some kind of work. You can do it after anything. The point is that you need to see yourself the way that you actually are and give yourself credit for the good things you do so that you can access the confidence that's supposed to come from these good things that you do. Shut out the noise.